Hello hot gluers. Today's tutorial is how to build a shopping cart in hot glue. So what I'm going to do is probably break this apart into a couple of different videos just because it's kind of long. But I guess it probably makes sense to jump in, just show you what I've set up and then dissect it piece by piece. So let's bounce over to review mode. You can kind of see here's my front page for my lovely store. All the good stuff happens over in the shop section, so let's bounce over. You can kind of see very simple 3x3 grid of products. The little X's are the image element, and I just didn't upload any images or anything. So across top, obviously navigation, a little area for sign in, we'll talk about that later. A little area for like a little shopping cart widget. Which we're going to talk about first, and then of course the little product entries themselves. You can see I set up a quick tooltip here. You click this, you're supposed to see more detail. You click this, you're supposed to add it to your cart. And the functionality I want to talk about first is just the sort of add to cart stuff. So I'll just kind of walk through it. If you click this button, it's meant to just immediately add this product to your cart. And the visual feedback you give the customer or the user is their little cart thing increments. You can see I can do it again. So how did I set that thing up? Well, let's dive in. Okay, so first you'll see, of course, I have a number of custom elements. One of them is called header. And you know, it kind of does what it says. It's my site-wide header bar, and within it, of course, there's this shopping cart widget. And the shopping cart widget itself is a view stack element, which hopefully everybody's played with it. It's kind of like Photoshop layers. Essentially, it's a single element that has the ability to add different layers. Or states to. So basically I use it whenever I have an element on the page that's going to change, going to sort of evolve based on user interactions or other sort of factors. So you can see here I set up the widget itself. It has 3 layers. The first layer is just meant to capture the state when nothing is in the cart. The layer called layer 1 is when there's one thing in the cart, and layer 2 of course is when there's 2 things in the cart. So that's the shopping cart widget. Now the other thing that's obviously important is the button itself that adds things to the shopping cart. And I guess before we dive into those themselves, let's take a look at one of the cool features of hot glue called states. States are, I guess, probably the easiest way to describe them is they're like variables. If you've ever done any kind of development or anything, they're like little things you can create that are global across all your projects, wireframes, and they capture, as the name implies, a given state. So in this case, I set up something called cart with 3 potential values, 0, 1, and 2. And all I'm trying to do here is just sort of create something that captures the contents of my cart. So in essence, what I'm going to do is every time somebody clicks on this little plus sign, I want to change the value from 0 to 1, from 1 to 2. Basically, somebody is adding something to their cart, and how many things are in the cart? 0 things, 1 thing, or 2 things. So again, to make that happen, it's all this plus sign right here. In the interactions menu, you can see what I've set up. Basically, so again, we're in expert mode here. We're using the click event and the change state value action. And I've set up 2, you can see here. The first is basically says change the cart state value to 1 only if the cart state value was previously 0. And the second one, very similar, says change the cart state value to 2 if the cart state value was previously 1. So really all I'm doing is just incrementing that cart state every time somebody clicks on this plus sign. So again, when you actually watch the demo in review mode, you can see when somebody clicks the plus sign, the shopping cart updates. So how does the actual shopping cart widget know to change? Well, let's take a look. Again, the shopping cart widget lives in my header custom element, and it's a view stack element with 3 views to it. You'll see there's this observer feature here, and this is pretty powerful feature of hot glue. Observers basically look at a given state and then change or perform certain actions based on a value in that state. It effectively allows you to configure an element to do something when a certain state condition is present. So I'll just kind of walk through the rules here. Basically, my action is a change view stack view for the cart widget element to view 0 if the cart state value is 0. So essentially, when the cart is empty, show the user that there's nothing in the cart. And then the second observer rule I have in here is change view stack view of the cart widget element to view number 1 when the cart state value is 1. And then of course the last one, pretty obvious, would be change the view stack view of the cart widget to view 2 if the cart state value is 2. So this little plus sign is setting the cart state value to 1 if it was 0 and 2 if it was previously 1. And this shopping cart widget is simply paying attention to the cart state and changing its view based on what particular cart state value is present. So another trick here is if you do control and then the number 1, at least in the PC world, you can see your active state values. And in this case, you can see here's the cart state that I set up, and it's set to 1, and that corresponds to the shopping cart being 1. And I'll just kind of increment it. Now it's set to 2, and if you look at your cart state values again, it's of course 2. So yeah, that's pretty much that trick. The next thing I'll dive into will probably be some more of the interactions around viewing details here, viewing your shopping cart and removing items from your shopping cart. But all that good stuff will come later. I guess that's it for now. Thanks a bunch. I hope it's helpful.